Everyone thought these games would be total scams, but they ended up breaking records. Kicking off our list at number 10, we have Elden Ring. I'll be honest, when this game was first announced back in 2019, the anticipation was through the roof, but so were the concerns. After all, From Software had never tackled a fully open-world game before, leaving fans wondering, would it actually work? Would the world feel lifeless? And what about the combat system? Just as doubts were escalating, leaks began to surface. The early visuals didn't impress, and whispers of a potential Cyberpunk 2077-style catastrophe made the skepticism grow stronger. But then, the game launched, and let me tell you, Elden Ring didn't just meet expectations, it obliterated them. Instead of the typical open-world clutter, endless quest markers, and repetitive side content, Elden Ring offered something truly liberating. It was a world built on absolute freedom. Freedom to explore, to struggle, and to triumph. So it's no surprise that the game became a massive success. With 20 million copies sold, countless Game of the Year awards, and a new benchmark for open-world RPGs, Elden Ring firmly cemented its place in gaming history. Sliding into number 9, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. When this game was first unveiled, fans were understandably worried, and for good reason. Yet another Modern Warfare. It felt like Activision was simply banking on nostalgia. The franchise had been through a roller coaster of changes, futuristic settings, battle royales, jetpacks, and players were getting tired of the same old formula. At that point, a reboot didn't seem like the fresh start the series needed. However, as more details emerged, it became evident that this wasn't just another Call of Duty installment. This version was darker, more intense, and promised a heightened focus on realism. While some dismissed these claims as marketing fluff, others feared it might stray too far from the fast-paced action the franchise was known for. But when Modern Warfare finally hit shelves, it didn't just meet expectations, it silenced the skeptics. The new engine delivered breathtaking visuals, and the gunplay was as smooth and satisfying as ever. Multiplayer struck a perfect balance between classic COD intensity and fresh mechanics, and then there was Warzone, a game mode that quickly became a cultural phenomenon, reshaping the battle royale genre in its own image. With over $1 billion in revenue within months, Modern Warfare secured its place as one of the best-selling FPS games of all time. At number 8, we have Hogwarts Legacy. Not gonna lie, if there was ever a game people thought was doomed to fail, this was it. Licensed games don't exactly have the best track record, and this one, an open-world RPG set in the wizarding world with no Harry Potter, no Voldemort, and an entirely new cast of characters? Yeah, doubt was bound to happen. But the hurdles didn't end there. The game was shrouded in controversy, from J.K. Rowling-related drama to years of delays that made it seem like the project was cursed. Early gameplay footage felt underwhelming, and concerns grew that the open world would lack depth, with shallow mechanics to boot. Then the game finally arrived, and it completely shattered expectations. The world was mesmerizing, capturing the magic of Hogwarts and its surroundings in breathtaking detail. Combat, surprisingly intricate and engaging, far exceeding what anyone had predicted. And the meticulous attention to detail, from the moving paintings to hidden secrets, made players feel like they had truly stepped into the wizarding world. Hogwarts Legacy didn't just perform well, it dominated, becoming the best-selling game of 2023, even surpassing Call of Duty. With over 22 million copies sold and counting, it's clear that this game struck a deep chord with fans. Taking the number 7 spot is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Back in 2015, CD Projekt Red was still a relatively small studio, but they were making some bold promises. Their upcoming game, The Witcher 3, was being hyped as an open-world RPG larger than Skyrim, with groundbreaking storytelling, stunning visuals, and an unprecedented level of depth. It sounded amazing, almost too good to be true. But here's the issue. CD Projekt Red wasn't exactly a household name at the time. Sure, The Witcher 2 had been well received, but could they really deliver on something as massive and ambitious as this? While some fans remained hopeful, many were skeptical, thinking, this just seems too ambitious, there's no way they don't fumble this. But when the game actually launched, it wasn't just good, it was legendary. The storytelling was masterful, featuring deeply immersive characters and unforgettable quests. The open world was wasn't just expansive, it was alive, brimming with meaningful content and a rich atmosphere. And let's not forget Blood and Wine, an expansion so well crafted that it's often hailed as one of the greatest DLCs ever made. The Witcher 3 didn't just live up to expectations, it redefined RPGs. With over 50 million copies sold, numerous Game of the Year accolades, and even a Netflix adaptation inspired by it, the game became a cultural juggernaut. At number 6, we have Fortnite, a game no one expected to dominate the industry. When it was initially revealed, it was just a co-op zombie survival game with base building mechanics, and honestly, it didn't make much of an impact. The game spent years in development limbo, and by the time it finally launched in 2017, it seemed like Epic Games had missed the mark entirely. But then something unexpected happened. Inspired by the meteoric rise of PUBG, Epic Games made a last-minute decision to introduce a Battle Royale mode. At first, it wasn't taken seriously. Critics dismissed it as a cheap, cartoony knockoff that couldn't compete with more serious Battle Royale titles. However, once players actually got their hands on it, everything changed. Fortnite didn't just become popular, it evolved into a global phenomenon. Constant updates, seasonal events, and high-profile collaborations kept the experience fresh. It didn't just succeed, it rewrote the rules for live service games. Within a year, Fortnite had amassed over 200 million players. Today, it has generated billions in revenue and remains one of the most played games in the world. At number 5, we have GTA Online. When Grand Theft Auto 5 debuted in 2013, it was already a powerhouse, but its online mode, that was a different story. Server crashes, glitches, and technical issues plagued its launch, making many doubt whether Rockstar could make it work. Despite the rocky start, Rockstar didn't give up. Frequent updates, bug fixes, and new content slowly transformed GTA Online from a frustrating experience into something players wanted to return to. The introduction of major updates like the heists in 2015 proved that Rockstar was committed to making the game more than just a chaotic free-for-all. As the years went by, the game's potential became undeniable. What started as a simple multiplayer experience evolved into a thriving, ever-changing online universe. A decade later, GTA Online remains incredibly popular, generating billions in revenue and sustaining an enormous player base. At number 4, we have Assassin's Creed. Today, it's one of Ubisoft's flagship franchises, but back in 2007, when the first game was revealed, opinions were divided. The trailers were breathtaking, a medieval open-world adventure where players could parkour across rooftops and eliminate targets with precision. It sounded like a dream, but there was one issue. Ubisoft had a reputation for over-promising and under-delivering. Early gameplay footage sparked mixed responses. The world appeared empty, missions seemed repetitive, and the whole genetic memory concept left some players puzzled. However, once the game finally launched, it became clear Ubisoft had created something remarkable. While not without flaws, it introduced groundbreaking mechanics. The parkour system was ahead of its time, the historical backdrop was unlike anything seen before, and despite its imperfections, it laid the groundwork for what would become a billion-dollar franchise. Fast forward to today, and the series has sold over 200 million copies, with new installments still drawing attention from gamers worldwide. At number 3, we have Black Myth: Wukong. When this game was initially revealed, the reaction was almost universal. Nah, this can't be real. A Souls-like title based on Journey to the West, featuring jaw-dropping visuals, fluid combat, and next-gen quality graphics, it seemed too ambitious to be true. Further fueling the doubts, it was being developed by a relatively unknown studio. Many assumed it was nothing more than pre-rendered footage, a staged tech demo, meant to generate buzz. Some even dismissed it as a scam, predicting it would vanish before release. But when the game finally launched in recent months, it left the gaming community in awe. The combat was punishing yet deeply rewarding, offering fast, fluid movement and a skill-based system that kept players engaged. The world? A breathtaking fusion of traditional Chinese mythology and cutting-edge visuals that pushed modern hardware to its limits. And the numbers spoke volumes: record-breaking sales, rave reviews, and a passionate player base that couldn't stop talking about it.
So I've had enough of you, bounty hunter or not. Oh, shit!
Securing the number 2 spot, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. Picture this, Rockstar had just released GTA 5, one of the most successful games ever, and then they announced Red Dead Redemption 2, a guaranteed blockbuster, right? Well, Not quite. Despite the excitement, there was plenty of doubt. The first Red Dead Redemption was beloved, but it didn't hold the same mainstream appeal as GTA. Some fans questioned whether Rockstar was wasting time on a cowboy game instead of focusing on GTA 6. Then came the delays, one after another, pushing the release further back. Concerns grew that the game was stuck in development limbo, and let's not forget Rockstar's reputation for brutal crunch culture. Many feared the final product would feel rushed or incomplete, but when the game finally arrived, it silenced every critic. The visuals, breathtaking. The world, immersive and meticulously detailed. The storytelling, easily one of the best in gaming history. This wasn't just another Rockstar hit, it was a masterpiece. Today, Red Dead Redemption 2 has surpassed 60 million copies sold, cementing itself as one of the best-selling games of all time.
Booba, get them! Race you!
Claiming the top spot is Genshin Impact. To be real, when this game was first revealed, most gamers had the same two thoughts. Wow, they really just copied Breath of the Wild and made it free? Yeah, this is gonna flop. And honestly, the skepticism made sense. A free-to-play open-world RPG from a studio known only for mobile gacha games. It sounded like it would either be a blatant cash grab or a forgettable knockoff. Then launch day arrived, and Genshin Impact didn't just defy expectations, it dominated the gaming world. The open world, vast and visually stunning. The combat, surprisingly deep, fast-paced, and engaging. The story, genuinely compelling. Sure, it had gacha mechanics, but the game was fully playable without spending a cent, and the result was a mind-blowing $4 billion in revenue in just 2 years, a massive global fan base, and a title that remains one of the biggest games in the industry today. People once dismissed Genshin Impact as a cheap clone. Instead, it became one of the most successful RPGs of all time.